All right, guys, we're going to take a moment to go over your math for today. So if you did this, it is time to go ahead and take a moment, pause the video, find your notes or your notebook page, open up that Word document wherever you have your answers for math for today, because I am going to go over it with you right now. All right, so on day one, you had to write an expression for the calculation double 2 and then add 5. So an expression is a math problem with no equal sign. So it doesn't say you actually have to solve the problem. You just need to write it. So double 2, that's two groups of 2. We're going to do that first. I'm going to put it in parentheses, and then I'm going to add 5. Next, list the factors of 4. Well, the factors of 4, everything that multiplied together, you get 4. So I like to do factors this way. I like to always start with a 1, and I like to end with the number itself. So 1 times 4 is 4, 4 times 1 is 4, and then I try to find everything in between. So the next number from 1 is 2, and yes, I can multiply 2 times 2, and then there's nothing else. Once I get to 4, there's nothing else. Is the number 4 prime or composite? Well, the number 4 is going to be composite because it has this number here in the middle. Anytime you're finding the factors and there's more than just one and the number is composite. If it only has 1 in itself as a factor, it's prime. 25 divided by 5, I can ask myself what times 5 is going to give me 25. I could draw it out in an array if I needed to, but my answer is going to be 5. Write less than, greater than, or equal to make the statement true. So I like to play the same or different game, and it works better with 2 pencils or 2 fingers. But I start at the decimal, and I move over to the first place value, that's tenths, and they have 2 zeros, so that's the same. So I can't compare them. Then I move over to the hundredths place, and I have a 0 and I have a 7. 7 is bigger than 0, so they're different. And because 7 is bigger, that means the whole number is bigger, and I'm going to write a less than sign. So I read this as 7 thousandths is less than 7 hundredths, and that's day one. Then I have day two. Complete the table. Add 2, add 4. So 1 plus 2 is 3. 1 plus 4 is 5. 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 4 is 6. 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 plus 4 is 7. 4 plus 2 is 6, and 4 plus 4 is 8. 5 plus 2 is 7, and 5 plus 4 is 9. 6 plus 2 is 8, and 6 plus 4 is 10. Kenneth bought a shirt for $58.98. The sales tax was $3.54. How much money did Kenneth spend on the shirt? Well, this is adding decimals, which is what we are doing right now or just got finished doing. So perfect timing. We're going to add those together. We're going to put it in a standard algorithm. We're going to say 8 plus 4 is 12 and regroup my 1. 9 plus 5 is 14, plus 1 more is 15. 8 plus 3 is 11, plus 1 more is 12. And 5 plus 1 is 6, and we're going to bring that decimal straight down. And Kenneth spent $62.52. Next, we're going to come to a fraction problem. I know that we have not done fractions yet, so if this is in your quiz, I want you to give it a try. But it's not going to actually be graded for right or wrong. It will tell you if you got it right or wrong, but you will not lose points. So when we are adding or subtracting fractions with unlike denominators, that's the number down here, denominator down. These are unlike because 8 and 4 is not the same. We need to figure out a like denominator. So we're going to take the smaller one and we're going to try to match it to the bigger one. Well, 4, if we do a skip count, it's 4, 8. So I can get 8. So I'm going to rewrite 7/8 subtracted, and that 4 is going to become an 8. And 4 times 2 is 8. So I have to multiply the top by 2 as well. 1 times 2 is 2. So 1/4 and 2/8 are exactly the same number. They're equivalent fractions. And now I can subtract. The 8 stays the same. 7 minus 2 is 5. And so the answer to 7/8 minus 1/4 is 5/8. Again, we're going to get more practice in this later. 12 times 6, I can do this in a standard algorithm. 6 times 2 is 12. Regroup my 1. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. The product is 72. All right, day 3, 20 times 10 to the third power. We are working with these exponents. 10 to the third power tells me it's a 1 with 1, 2, 3 zeros. 2 times 1 is 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So my answer is 20,000. 2 times 4, 2/4 plus 3/8. That's the same thing we were having up here where it's unlike denominators. So I remember I used 8. So I'm going to change that 4 to an 8. And again, 4 times 2 is 8. So 2 times 2 is 4 plus 3/8. 4 plus 3 is 7. And the eighths stay the same. Again, if that's on your quiz, it will mark it right or wrong, but you will not lose points because this is a tease for what's coming up in 5th grade. Write the equation for the following statement. So here we're writing an equation. We're not solving, we're just writing. Reed is 3 years old. His sister is 4 times older. How old is Reed's sister? So Reed is 3 years old. His sister is 4 times that. And of course, the question does say how old, but an equation has an equal sign. So she is going to be 12 years old. Round 5 and 67 to the nearest tenth. I'm going to rewrite that. I'm going to round to this number. When I do that, I look here. If this number is 5 or bigger, I'm going to change this to a number higher, 1 higher. If it's 4 or less, I'm going to leave this alone. Well, 7 is bigger than 5. So that tells me that this 6 needs to become a 7. And when I round it, it's going to become 5 and 7/10. All right, guys, last day, day 4. Write 4 hundredths in standard form. So I hear hundredths, so I know fraction. I know decimals. I don't hear the word and, so I know that there's no whole number. Hundredths. This is tenths. This is hundredths, and I only have 4 of them, so I need to fill in with a 0. There's my standard form. What is the value of 4 in the number 745? Well, the value of a video game is how much it's worth. How much money could you get for it? The value of a piece of jewelry is, again, how much could you get for it? How much money? So the value of a 4 in the tens place is 4 groups of 10, which is 40. 70,000 divided by 7,000. Let's look for the basic math fact. Here we have a 7 in the thousands place. Here we have 70,000. What times 7 would give me 70? Well, that would be 10. 1, 2, 3 zeros left over. Sorry, 10. So what times 7,000 is going to give me 70,000? Again, that's just 10. And then the last one is the sum of 7 plus 8 plus the quotient of 56 divided by 7. So first we're going to find the sum here. 7 plus 8 is 15. We're going to add it to the quotient of 56 divided by 7, which is a basic math fact. So what time 7 is going to give me 56? I got to think about those 7 math facts. If I skip count by 7, I say 7, 14, 21. What comes next? lost my train of thought. I probably should write that, huh? 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 56. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Took me 7 numbers to get there. And guys, you can always write a skip cut on your paper anywhere you need it. 15 plus 7. So 5 plus 7 is 12. I regroup my 1 into my tens place, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So my answer here is 22. So please now go take your quiz, give it a try, come back and rewatch if you need to, and you can always have a chance to retake that quiz.